Hi friends, this is FirearmPop, and this is another in my series of armed citizen stories. And these stories coming out of Concealed Carry magazine. Okay, it's the latest edition, and here they're titled True Stories. So, without further ado, let's get right to them. Armed citizen stops knife attack in Salt Lake City grocery store. A Utah man walked into a Smith's grocery store in Salt Lake City, Utah, bought a kitchen knife, and proceeded to attack people just outside the store while shouting, "You killed my people! You killed my people!" The man stabbed one person several times in the stomach and another hard enough in the head to pierce his skull. The carnage was stopped when a store customer pulled a legally carried pistol and ordered the assailant to drop the knife or be shot. As soon as the assailant dropped the knife, customers and store employees subdued him and held him for police. Investigators have found no motive for the attacks and praised the actions of the armed citizen who saved the bad situation from getting worse. The attacker has an extensive criminal history and has been released from jail a week earlier. Sleeping retired Washington state cop hears break-in foils robbery. Awakened by sounds of a break-in, a retired cop in Pullopa, Washington, pulled a pistol and fired on four men, one armed with a crowbar, who had broken into his home. The men fled, but one later died in hospital after seeking treatment for a gunshot wound. Police investigators later linked the dead man to the burglary. And tracked down the charged two of his accomplices in a string of burglaries. Authorities will not charge the homeowner, whom police said was justified in defending his home. A drunk Indiana man breaks into a wrong house, almost shot for his trouble. A drunken 32-year-old Portage, Indiana man had trouble getting into his home. In his frustration, he finally kicked in the door and went inside. Unfortunately for him, it wasn't his house, and he found himself confronted by a gun-wielding 28-year-old woman who was surprised to find the drunken man in her living room. She ordered the man to lie down on the floor until police arrived. The man, who had a .21 blood alcohol content, faces charges of residential entry and criminal mischief. The homeowner was shaken but unhurt and is thankful she had a gun. Alabama 7th grader killed in robbery attempt. A 13-year-old Birmingham, Alabama boy approached the couple at night as they drove into their driveway. Wearing a bandana and yielding a loaded and cocked pistol, the teenager demanded, "Get out and give it up." The male would-be victim pulled his own gun and shot the robber, who died a short time later. Police are investigating the case as justifiable homicide. California senior citizen shoots and roots homeowners. A 62-year-old former Marine heard a loud noise as two men broke into the Modesto, California home he shared with his stepson. Seeing the burglars accosting the stepson, the homeowner retrieved a .357 Magnum revolver and fired on the intruders twice, striking one in the leg and putting both to flight. The injured burglar will face criminal charges on his release from the hospital. His accomplice remains at large. The homeowner will not face charges for the shooting. Thank goodness for that. Texas man takes a knife to gunfight. A Tyler, Texas man used a large knife to threaten several men. One of the threatened men carried a gun, which he drew to defend himself and others. The suspect continued to brandish the knife and threaten the small group, so the gun owner shot him. Though wounded, the suspect continued his threats, and with the knife, including cutting the gunman, which got him shot again for his trouble. The would-be victims were then able to subdue the knife-wielding wielder until police arrived. The suspect is hospitalized for his 2 gunshot wounds, and the shooter was treated for release for several knife wounds. Authorities are investigating what looks like a self-defense shooting. Missouri home invaders put a victim in the wrong closet. A 20-year-old Kansas City, Missouri woman answered a door, and 2 teenagers who were seeking someone in the neighborhood. When she responded that the man in question wasn't there, the teens put a gun to her head. They then forced her inside the house and into a closet while they proceeded to ransack the premises. The woman took up a pistol she kept in that closet and stepped out to confront the two invaders, shooting one of the men and causing the other to flee. The injured 17-year-old burglar stumbled out of the house and died in the front yard. The victim is not expected to face charges. A Washington man shoots, kills home invader. A North Bend, Washington man and his girlfriend were awakened by the sound of a break-in and a man shouting that he was going to kill them. Taking up a pistol, the homeowner yelled that he had a gun and for the intruder to leave. The intruder kept repeating his threats as he ransacked the house. When the intruder kicked in the door of the bedroom where he and his girlfriend were hiding, the homeowner shot and killed the intruder. Police praised the restraint of the homeowner, saying he fired only when he had no other choice. That's this group of stories out of Concealed Carry magazine, and like I've said before, I enjoy these quite a bit, and I hope you do too. This is FirearmPop. Be safe out there, and God bless. Bye now. This is FirearmPop, and I approve of this message.